Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Tara and I make videos about digital planning and different ways that you can get creative with your iPad. So if that sounds like something that's of interest to you, feel free to hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell so that you never miss a video. Now that that's all out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into the purpose of today's video, which will be setting up my weekly layout for the month of May. So I'm just gonna go ahead and select our second week of May here. And since I didn't do my April layout, it feels like it has been so long since I have decorated a weekly layout. Oh my goodness. I'm really bummed that I didn't end up doing anything last month with my planner. It's definitely something that I always look forward to, and I just did not prioritize it last month. So I'm glad to be doing it this month. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I usually start by covering up the parts that I don't want to keep, as in the parts that I want to completely customize. And so what I'm going to do is I am going to come to my background element, and I'm going to be putting together a video pretty soon about all of the elements that I typically use regularly, so I can link to that in case anyone is curious how I make some of my elements. Once that video is ready, I will be sure to link it here and in the cards. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use this to cover up this whole corner here, and we're going to include the title and all of the dots here that were in our dot grid because we're not going to need those. And so now we have this completely blank, and the next thing I'm going to do is use an element that I've used in previous months, and that one is going to be my fun little weekly fill-in here. So it's super nice to just be able to pop this into place and not have to worry about really fussing with it too much. The reason that I love doing it this way is that even though I have stickers that I could put into place, if I do it this way, you can still see the numbers underneath, and then I don't have to worry about changing them every single week when I copy and paste this week after week in my planner. I love using my digital planner, but I've got to be honest, I'm a little bit lazy, so I'm always looking for shortcuts because I can't justify spending more time than I need to. So always kind of looking for shortcuts. Okay, so I'm just making sure that I have handwriting selected right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to recolor these just so that they are a color that goes with the layout, just because I think the green is going to be a little bit distracting. And so that's where we're going to start, but I'll possibly go in and change this again later. So what I want to do is just scroll down to the bottom where I have my colors saved, and I'm going to make it this kind of like pinky, red, purple, whatever color you want to call this. And that's going to be good for now. I'm going to come to my sticker pack, and this is the color palette that we're going to be using today, so I'm going to put all of those hex codes up in the corner if you need to pause and add them in if you're following along. And I just want to think about like what colors or what I kind of want to go with. Now, this particular color palette was inspired by being very like night-timey, and so what I might do for my background is end up using one of these. And let me just see what color the word May is. So the May is in like this dark blue. So I think I'll end up using this light blue one. But the first thing I want to do before that is I'm just going to grab any sticker that has that light blue color. So I'm just going to copy this one, come back to my planner, and I'm going to paste it. And then with my image tool, I'm going to tap on this, and we are going to tap and crop it. And I'm just going to crop it down to any old rectangle. And then we're going to size that up. And so now what I can do is put this in a zone that's going to kind of fit up here. And I just want it to line up on this side and then be sort of like an even distance around. So let's just add a little bit more to the width there. So now I'm just going to copy this one, and I'm going to bring it back and I'm going to paste it. And then I'm going to grab my image tool, and the reason that I pasted that background there is because if you can tell, there is some transparency here, and I didn't want to keep that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to zoom in here, and I am going to size this until the edges meet, till it looks pretty solid. And I think that looks good. And I'm just gonna copy this and paste it over here. And then I'm just gonna have to crop some of this. So with my image tool, I'm just gonna crop out. Let's just crop to here so we can get a nice clean cut. And what I'm also gonna do is crop this one. Again, just so it's a nice clean crop. Double check this sizing since that changed. And I can't tell you why Goodnotes does this, but sometimes when you crop something, it just changes size and it gets really obnoxious. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna repaste it since I pasted that other one, and it's gonna keep it at that size. I don't know if it was because it was the original one that I pasted or what, but it's just one of those things with Goodnotes that sort of just kind of comes with the territory and you figure it out. Now I just need to fix this area right here. So I'm gonna do that just by coming to my sticker set and grabbing one of these. Just gonna copy it and paste it and grab our image tool again. And we're just kind of looking for a size that's gonna be pretty decent here. And then we're gonna just have to see where we're gonna crop it. So like that size should be pretty good. And I have to come at like a straight angle across. So what I'm gonna do is just tap on this tap crop, come to freehand, and I think it was like about here. So I'm gonna come around like this, and then whatever I think that angle might have been, I'm just gonna go like this, and oh, maybe it was up a little bit more. I feel like it was slightly more angled. And I'm really just kind of guessing here, and then I'm gonna let go, and it's gonna snap a perfectly straight line. And then what I have to do is just kind of zoom in here. And yeah, it looks like my angle wasn't quite right, but I should be able to make it work somewhat, I would say. And just because I'm being a perfectionist here, I'm gonna crop this also freehand. And because that background color is the same, it doesn't really matter that I take out a chunk of this corner. So yeah, just gonna do it like that and then size this back up to fit. Truly, I just have no idea what happens with Goodnotes and their cropping and how messed up this gets. Nothing here is making sense. You know, I thought really hard about just cutting this out completely and doing something different, but I think it's important that you guys see the frustrations that even like I've been using Goodnotes and doing these plan with me's for years now, and I still run into constant frustrations. So obviously now I need to cut off this corner. So we're gonna come back to our rectangle crop. I don't know why it changes the size so much. There's no reason for it. Ideally, I need this to fit in here decently, like maybe like that. And then that means this is gonna have to get cut off here. So I'm gonna tap off and tap back on and just hope that maybe that helps a little bit. Sometimes you have to give Goodnotes like a reset point or it acts so crazy, as we're seeing. Yeah, I think that helped. So if you're watching this and not following along, then maybe just do that instead. Just be sure to like tap off, tap back on. I do feel like this looks a little empty and that looks a little bit crowded. But instead of messing with the crop again, instead what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna come in here with my pen tool with that blue color and make it a little bigger. And I am going to, I don't know, maybe color over top of this and just make it seem like it never existed. And I'm gonna color over this one too. Okay, and now I'm just gonna add a couple stars in myself. Okay, now I'm just gonna add in a couple stars myself. I want the stars to be similar in size, so I'm just gonna zoom in. Doesn't have to be perfect, but close. And I'm gonna copy that now that I've tapped off and tapped back on so that it copies it at the right size. All right, and I think that looks a lot better. Took way too long to get there, but you know what? I also want a star over here. Add that in there. Now I think that's perfect. Okay, I'm gonna come back to my sticker pack and grab this May, and we're gonna copy this. Come back to the planner and paste, and we definitely don't need this, but maybe we'll use it later, so I'm just gonna put it there. We will use the image tool here to size this up until it looks pretty cute. And I I don't know, for fun, just kind of put it off to the side. I never usually do that, but let's do it. Okay, and now what we need to do is take our pen tool, and for clarity, we're just gonna use this thicker brush pen, or this thicker pen. It doesn't really matter if it's the brush pen or not, but you just need to be able to create a pretty thick outline here. You could do this in a different color if you wanted to. Might make it a lot easier to see. So the point is we just don't want there to be an issue with visibility. I mean, you can make this as big as you want. I have mine at the biggest size that it goes. I think I'm gonna actually color all of this in here. And the idea here is we just don't want anything to get in the way of this being able to be read. And so since the background elements are the same color, so the idea here is we just don't want anything to get in the way of this being able to be read. And so I'm kind of just coloring around the outside so that there will be separation between the background elements and the blue text. I know it looks crazy now, but we'll fix that in a second. So now that this is all done, I'm going to take my image tool. We're going to tap on this, and you can see already where it's been brought forward. But if you look closely, you can still see some of those background elements peeking out. So this is a good way to give yourself a little bit of a viewpoint of like, okay, well, some of this is still interfering with that. So we're going to go back in and just clean that up a little more. So I know I need this part colored. I need this part, you know, a little bit here and here, maybe here too. And we can kind of be super free here because of the fact that the background color is the same. So we don't really have to worry about anything showing through where it's not supposed to. But now let's grab that image tool and just take a quick peek here. Okay, I can see that looks funny there. The Y needs a little bit of work, like up here. And then I do want to just make this smoother and maybe make this smoother. So, okay. Now I think we should be in the clear, but let's just check. Okay, that looks so much better. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this and I'm going to paste it because it's still going to help us kind of line things up properly. Otherwise it might look a little bit crazy. Okay, and that looks pretty good. All right, and I like the way that that comes down there. I think that looks nice. But now this feels a little empty, so okay, I kind of have a fun idea, but I don't really know how this is going to play out. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this banner, since it's here, and I'm going to size it so that it fits here. My iPad is being so glitchy today. All right. So I want to try to draw a straight line. And I'm just going to turn handwriting only on for a second. Or at least remove the images and line that up. And then I'm going to use my image tool to line up this bottom here. And I'm going to turn my stroke eraser on because I see there's like a rogue little dot here. Okay, so I've got this corner lined up. And then I'm going to come here and take my pen tool in a smaller size. Maybe this one. This I have set at 0.45 millimeters. And we're just going to draw a straight line. And I'm going to move this over. Okay, and we're just going to start coloring this stuff in. So just around this edge, I am going to use that smaller brush. And then we'll go into the big one as soon as I know I'm not going to mess anything up. So I like this concept. I think this is kind of fun to integrate this into my planner. But we're just going to fill everything in here. And I'm going to color over this too. And basically anything that's kind of here on the border there. And that'll just give me the freedom to fill it in. If you want a bigger brush, you can use the brush tool, the brush pen. And just because it's pressure sensitive, you can push down a little bit more. And it'll fill that in a bit faster for you. Okay, so I need to finish this up with some of the stars and moons. So let's come back to our sticker pack. And we need to make sure that we turn on our images and select these again, copy them, paste them. And these need to be more comparable in size. So that's pretty decent. It doesn't have to be perfect, just needs to work. So I'm gonna copy them while they're at this size. So just make sure that you tap off and then tap back on. Otherwise it will copy it at the other size. And we're just gonna fill in this area. So I'm gonna paste these again, and I'm just putting them here so that I can kind of easily grab them, because if you remember, I put that element down here and I don't want that to get in the way. And when I resize them, I know that the size changes a little bit, but I'm just trying to keep it close. Just kind of use the others for reference, and you can also use the image tool here to crop these so that they come off the edge. So again, I'm just going to do this where I kind of just let go and it snaps like that, and that's going to set the angle. And I just want to make sure this size looks pretty consistent. And I might just copy this one and paste it and come in here and see if I can get this angle somewhere on here. I think that'll do. And then maybe just one more star. I might move this star over and rotate it a little. And then I'll just copy this one and paste it and lasso it and move it there. This one I think needs moved a tiny bit. Okay, I think that's kind of fun how that comes down. I don't really know what I'm going to do with this space yet, but I like that idea. I think that could be a fun thing to play around with. I hope you guys like it too. I think I'm going to use this one here, so I'm just going to copy this, come back to my planner, and I'm going to paste it over top of May. So just going to make it big enough so that it covers that. And I think that's really nice and kind of maybe the perfect place for it. But I'm just going to come in with white. I can use my text from here and my cheeky collegian text. And just tap and type in May. Grab my lasso tool and turn off images, but turn on text boxes. And let's just change this color to white. And we are going to resize this a little bit and just angle it so that it looks nicer there on the banner. I think that's cute. Okay, another thing I want to do is I am going to take, I think this one here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn images back on, select this one and copy it. And we're going to paste this gradient. And then I'm going to use my image tool to size this in this space here. I don't know how this is going to go, but I'm going to try it just to see. I'm going to take this one. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to paste it. And then using my image tool, I am going to turn this darker side up. Maybe I'll do the lighter side. That makes a little more sense, right? Okay. Okay, similar to what we have been doing, I'm just going to draw around the half that I want, and then we're just going to let it snap to a straight line. Perfect. And so I might need to rotate a little bit. It actually fades in really nicely here. So I think that's good. I just gotta figure out if I want it bigger, which is a little hard to do. So I have to size it up to size it down, and then just bring it until that fade works really well. And I think that that's nice. Looks like the sun is setting, and then up here it's nighttime, which is kind of cool. I do need to find more of a way to bring this pinky purple color in there. So I think what I'm going to do is I am going to just take a bunch of these because this is the whole theme and they're so cute. And I'm going to copy these and paste them over here. So I'm going to use the image tool for this because it's going to give me lots of freedom. I really love these ones. These are like my favorite. I might crop this one here, so Let's tap off and tap back on and then crop. We're going to do rectangle crop and just crop it like that so that it can come down here. And I'm just trying to space these so that the ones that are smaller, in theory, are like further away. And I'm just going to crop this one a tiny bit. I'm going to get rid of these two. And that one as well. And let's put our birds in here. Maybe I can find a way to incorporate those ones too, but we'll see. So I'm going to bring all the birds over and paste them. And I want to see what the color difference is here. Yes. Okay, this I love. It's kind of what I had in mind when I designed them. I was hoping that they would work, and they do. So I'm just kind of overlaying them. I know it's hard to see probably, but I'm overlaying them here so it looks like they're like really far away and just fading off into the distance. And then these ones I'm going to copy, and we are going to paste more of these. And I might not use all 8 of these, but I'm just going to start moving these and filling this space over here. Just kind of varying their sizes and their angles, where they're going. Okay, and I think I might need to cool it on here because it almost looks like Attack of the Birds. So maybe we'll make them a little smaller. Looks like they're like swarming the hot air balloons. So maybe I'll just move that over a tiny bit. Okay. I think this is a really cute scene. I am enjoying this. Okay, and I think I just might want to put a little word here and then leave some space for notes. So what I want to do is find a word that's gonna show up here and look nice. And let me come back and see, what did I do for the month of May? Did I use any of these quotes? Drift away, and I wrote explore. So let's come back to this week. Come back to our stickers, and let's do this adventure awaits. I'm going to paste it twice. I'm going to tap and crop. And it is definitely hard to see here, so just be careful. I've got adventure, crop, awaits. I'm going to make it just a little bigger, but not too big. Okay, adventure awaits. And then I think in order to make a little note section, I have a couple options. So what I can do is I can take this one here, copy it, and bring it here and paste it. We'll try this first. And I can crop, rectangle crop, and just crop off these edges. And then just add this in here so I have a note section. You guys know that I really value brain dumping, so I do that very often. And I might copy this at that size now and paste it. Grab my image tool here and move this one over top and just line this up. Okay, and that's pretty good. I think it's too big, so I'm gonna bring this down a little more. I just wanted it a tiny bit bigger. So that's, oh, I think that's about right. I think that looks nice. That is the first thought I'm thinking. But what I might do is just move these all up a little bit. Okay, and yeah, I like that. I think that looks really nice. Just adjusted the heading there a little bit so it feels a little more centered. But I like this. I think it's really cute. It's very practical. I've got my notes. I've got my weekly plan. And actually, I'm just going to leave these colors here. I know I said I might change them, but I think that they're fine like this. If you want that to be a little bit darker, you can just make sure your handwriting is on, or you can literally just grab the element tool and be sure to tap on this one. Copy it and paste it. And you can layer it then. And now it's a little bit darker. It matches a little bit better, but you can still see through. So yeah, that is what I am doing for my weekly setup, and I'm happy with this in the end and how it turned out, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this and got some new creative ideas for what you want to do in your own planner. I will leave the links, as always, for these stickers down below in the description. But other than that, I'm going to head out. So thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you all so much. You are the best. I love you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!